Sure, had something there in his pocket that he knew he could do. Had two good dunks, very good dunks. Finished solidly.
168. It's a solid second place for Ed Stevenson. 175.
They'll play at Michigan State.
The state of Massachusetts, 18,698 in a sold-out Fleet Center. And the West starting lineup in the 2000 game featuring Darius Miles, Zach Randolph headed to Michigan State, Jared Jeffries headed to Indiana, Marcus Taylor will join Randolph at Michigan State, Chris Duhon, who has signed with Best at a 2, but he will no doubt see a lot of action at the front at 2. Randolph leaves it off the glass for Andre Brown out of Chicago Leo High School, a future DePaul Blue Demon, and Howell answers for the East.
If you enjoy a basket a little too long in this game, you're going to get dunked on at the other end.
Marcus Taylor. Not atypical at all. Brown overthrowing Miles, he runs it down. And feeds Randolph. First field goal for Zach. One of the top 6 high school programs from last week. Miles trying to make every play, offensive and defensive. Randolph 6'9", 270. He figures eventually will play the 3, the small forward that Morris Peterson has been handling for the last 4 years.
Coaches today said that if you're looking for a diamond in the rough from what they've seen in practice, Zach Randolph is the man. He's going to be playing for Tom Izzo. And there's a story about how Tom Izzo, after a late season game, in a nice finish in the paint against Purdue, in which he didn't like his team's toughness, Tom Izzo brought out shoulder pads and helmets and let his players play practice like that for a few minutes. Zach Randolph seems like he fit.
Second only to Darius Rice to the East.
You had made the comparison between Eddie Griffin and Tim Duncan earlier to see a nice post move down by Zach Randolph. You know who I see Eddie Griffin as a very young Zach Randolph. You know who I see Eddie Griffin as a very young and talented Scottie Pippen.
A little bit bigger at 6'9" even.
Yep, long arms.
Randolph handled the ball. 6'9", 270 baseline to Market. Man. Well, obviously not just a low post star at Marion, Indiana. Singleton lost it out of bounds. You just don't see this from a guy this young, that size.
No, he's a bull in the china shop, and I can promise you that nobody's going to take a charge on that runaway train. And if we're talking about comparisons here, how about Carlos Boozer at Duke? Same kind of body, same kind of skills with the ball.
Boddicker missing the 3. Randolph out battling Neil Singleton again. And Zach Randolph has the first 6 points of the...
He wishes the Big Ten season would start tomorrow.
But it is not hard at all to imagine him in that uniform, playing their style. Well, again challenged by the 7'6" Singleton, who blocks Boddicker. Harper stolen by Duhon. 3-on-none Randolph in a generous mood, and Brian Boddicker gets his first 2.
And I can promise you this. I don't care what kind of dunk I see, that play from Zach Randolph is my play of the game. He could have dunked it, but he gave it up to his teammates. I'm so impressed with that. That's what it's all about right there, Dave.
With a good basket. 3, 2, 1.
They're playing the role of the setup man. Randolph has had his chances so far, so he shares the wealth. And notice on the last play, getting to the basket, getting up top, 3-point delivery.
Incidents leading to his being dropped by Cincinnati as a recruit, now considering whether to go the JUCO route for a year, maybe to CBA, maybe enter the NBA draft. Very much undecided. We talked to him earlier today. Oh, what action on the glass.
What I like most about them, they're good students, too. Excellent students.
Almost to a man. Lots of GPAs, almost as impressive as their accomplishments on the floor. Midway second quarter, West by 4 at a sold-out Fleet Center in Boston. With the West leading the East 74 to 63. sustained 10 errors of commission.
Argue with a lot of points in the days of NBA basketball with low scoring. We're approaching an NBA score for an entire game here in the first half.
Hey, last year we'd already be there. 20 points by Ralph.
100, Dave.
Randolph back in for the West and running the floor as he has all night.
The most impressive thing about Barrett to me is he averages 13 assists. And you may recall, a high school team is only 32 minutes. If you look in the NBA, Sam Cassell leads the NBA active players in assists at 9 per game to be in the McDonald's All-American game.
Here he is. Already getting some advice from his future college coach, Tommy Amaker, the former ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He wanted to work on his defense in this game to impress Coach Amaker. Zach Randolph, 13 points. Scooter Sherrill, not afraid to challenge Miles.
Join it. What an entertaining game, huh? Henry Gonzalez, let's go back to David Tim.
18,698, the largest crowd of the second half, has yet to score. Still on 20. Duhan to Zach Randolph. Missing the lefty skip. Randolph team just beat Jared Jeffries' Bloomington North high school team for the Indiana State Championship. Randolph gets it this time.
And on the very same day, his future MSU teammate Marcus Taylor won the state championship, Lansing Waverly in the state of Michigan. Same day that Michigan, he wants his high school kids to learn how to win for next year.
Randolph a couple of times ducking underneath Neil Fingleton.
The big adjustment for Neil. He's going to be learning a lot of basketball in the next couple of years. He couldn't launch. He's going to play against Brennan Haywood next year in practice. That's got to help.
Randolph fouled by Omar Cook, bravely standing his ground against the 270-pounder.
Watching him run, being teamed with Al Anaganye in Michigan State next year, you know, the guy that would love to get them is Michigan State's football coach, Bobby Williams. Look at this. That's 270 with, I'm not going to call it sprinter speed, but he gets up there pretty good.
But what else is serious? Says he really has never touched the weight, and neither has Al Anaganye, who may be the most sculpted 6'8", 250 or thereabouts as a freshman I've ever seen. And he also pretty much all natural. So once those guys do hit the weights in this class, they're going to play a couple of years.
Well, that body right there is not sculpted yet. That's a big, strong boy that's going to, you know, when he gets a chance to get lifting some weight.
A few misfires tonight. Randolph with his own miss. 12 of his 21 points now for Zach Randolph here in the second half. Onaker knocked it right into the hands of Omar Cook. Duhan for Randolph. Another mid-slam. Jeffries gets it.
Yeah, just shows the type of guy he is. All right, James, Kay, thanks for spending time with us. It's good to see you. And Tim, four-year All-Stater in Michigan, the all-time leading scorer in Class A, and you can attest, Class A's had some pretty good basketball players in the Great Lakes State.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the, Adebayo and Mike Fratello, if you were a coach on the East Coast, you hung out a five-star.
Wallace shows a little strength here. He reaches around Zach Randolph. He slams him to the floor. One wouldn't have thought that was possible. Getting a look at 4 minutes to go. He's picking back up. Harper just off on the reverse.
Sense that these guys are like the thoroughbreds that can see the barn, going to push themselves.
Great receiver, Hall of Fame receiver to beat, Jerry Rice. Zach Randolph scored 23 points and had 15 rebounds. He was named the MVP. As Rice, by the way,
Rebounds. He may well be the MVP.
And someone that's going to give him a run for MVP is Zach Randolph right there. He has 21 points and 13 rebounds.
Onaker missing the three, back to Taylor. West take a 3-point target practice, and Randolph finally with the 10.
Excuse me, 23 points, 14 rebounds.
Jerome Harper Jeffer is upset with himself a moment ago when he lost his balance in Ames, Iowa.
And a little question that the hardest working man in this building has been the shot clock operator.
Blisters on his fingers, no doubt. Touchdown to Sean Stevenson.
Now this is fun, partner.
Good enough?
Yep, absolutely. You know what? Nobody takes this too seriously. I don't think either team was really pushing for a win. They was just come out, make some new friends.
Show your stuff.
Yep.
And Deshaun Stevenson is a knock off the East. 146-120, our final before a record crowd of nearly 19,000. Fun indeed. Again, our final, the West 146, the East 120. Coming right up, more high school hoops. The Sprite Slam Jam. Many of the same stars competing at altitude. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. For Tim McCormick, Mike Gleason.
Miles was 17. If I said it before, it's worth repeating. And then Deshaun Stevenson. Now you know what? This guy won the slam dunk contest, too. West wins for 146 points, broke last year's mark set by the West. Now, somewhere in Indy, Tom Izzo was smiling. Why? Because his two top recruits, Zach Randolph and Marcus Taylor, starred in this game. Randolph, the game MVP, 23 points, 15 boards. Taylor, 14 and 6, plus 3 assists.